Why is understanding niche fandom lore so hard? Imagine trying to learn a language where every word is an inside joke, and every phrase has a story behind it. That's what it feels like to understand niche fandom lore. These fandoms are like secret clubs with their own slang, stories, and references that only true fans really get. For people outside the community, it can seem confusing and overwhelming. Niche fandoms often grow through detailed stories, fan art, memes, and inside jokes that build up over time. Fans create their own terminology, which can be totally unfamiliar to outsiders. For example, some fandoms have specific terms for characters, events, or even jokes that only make sense if you've been around for a while. This makes the lore feel like a dense web that's hard to entangle without being part of the community. For General Z, who tend to follow many fandoms at once, this makes understanding all the lore even trickier. They are often involved in creating content like fan art, fan fiction, edits, and memes that add new layers to the stories. Because they participate actively, the lore keeps changing and expanding. Different groups might have their own versions of the same story, which can lead to confusion. Most of the lore is shared online in places like forums, Discord servers, TikTok, and YouTube videos. These spaces move fast, with new content popping up every day. It's easy to get lost in the flood of information, especially since the content is often short and packed with references. If you follow multiple fandoms, which many General Z fans do, the overlapping stories and inside jokes can get really tangled. Some niche fandoms are also rooted in specific cultures or regions. For example, a fandom based on a local comic or a regional TV show might include language, slang, or cultural references that are unfamiliar to outsiders. This adds another layer of difficulty, because understanding the lore might requiring knowledge of that particular culture or language. For many General Z fans, the goal isn't to master every detail but to connect with others and share their passion. They relying on community chats, videos, and social media to decode and explain the lore. This makes fandoms more like social spaces where people learn from each other rather than static sources of facts. So the reason understanding niche fandom lore is so hard is because it's detailed, constantly changing, community-driven, culturally specific, and spread across fast-moving online platforms. For General Z, that challenge is part of what makes fandoms exciting and meaningful. It's about navigating these complex worlds, sharing experiences, and building identity through participation.